What's up, Lambo View? For today's video, I got a question about what am I paying for the insurance for the car. Your car insurance, my car insurance for this car is not that bad, and I'll explain why. Your car insurance is going to depend on a lot about your history of driving, obviously, and a lot of it is also going to be your age, I will say. So I'm currently 36 at the making of the video. I am paying about $304 a month for insurance for this car. I drive the car about 2,500 to 3,000 miles a year, maybe 4,000 if I feel like it. But that is what I have listed on the insurance. So if you obviously have a good driving history, you're gonna get a pretty good quote for your insurance. But if you are somebody who's younger, maybe in their 20s, you can best believe that your insurance is gonna be way up there. It's gonna be a lot. I've had friends who are in their 20s who are trying to get Aventadors and Lambos, and that in itself is a whole nother car payment that they're gonna have to pay. I've known people that basically canceled their whole Lamborghini deal because once they found out about the insurance and the fact that they're in their 20s trying to get insurance for a Lamborghini, that the insurance quote came out to be about $900 a month. So that's one thing that you really got to watch out for. So I pay about $300, and again, my driving record is pretty clean, or completely clean. I have no accidents, no speeding tickets, at least not for years and years. Also, the thing with insurance, it does depend on where you're storing the car. So obviously we have a temporary storage unit right now for the vehicle, but if you were storing the car on the street, that is going to hike up your insurance rate a whole lot because you're putting your vehicle at risk of getting hit by another car. So storage does play a big role in insurance cost. Obviously, the storage place I have, not only does it have a garage door, it's nice and secured, it has a fence, has cameras all around here, so the vehicle I know is going to be very safe. So if you mention things like that during your insurance process, then you can obviously get a really good quote. And if you have a clean record, that will also help your quote. And if the vehicles are known to be more on the side of not really driven, so I will say that my insurance quote that I had for my M4, which was a third of the price of this car, my M4 was 100 grand, this car is 300 grand. My M4 insurance cost was around 250. This car is 300. And then you may ask yourself, why is that? Well, a big reason being is because the vehicles that we have here, a Lambo, people don't really drive this car a whole lot. And then whenever they do, they are extremely cautious. It's not the same for a M4 because you do have a big, younger demographic. Some of those can get really reckless. So that does hike up the insurance quote because the cars are just known to be driven really hard. But Lamborghinis, on the other hand, ever since I got this car, I don't really drive the car all that hard. I try to take my time with it. I do kind of be on the lookout for other cars who may be driving really aggressively to take pictures of the car. So that's honestly one of the reasons why I don't go crazy whenever I drive the car. The other cars around you are just driving really erratically. So this isn't really a car that you want to drive fast, even if you could. If you do obviously go to the track and stuff, it's probably safer to drive the car on the track. Not only for the sense of things being close course and whatnot, but you don't have any crazy drivers who are driving around you and stuff. Yeah, $300 a month. It's not anything crazy. I'm 36, clean record. I drive like a grandma for the most of the time. Again, these cars are obviously fast, 650 horsepower, but you already know the car is fast, so there's not really a reason why you kind of have to show off you're fast. I don't know why, but the M4 was just more of a car that I just kind of wanted to drive the car fast. But even then, drive safely, of course. I'm not condoning speeding or anything like that. So the thing with finding the right insurance is also a big deal. If it's your first supercar, many insurance companies are really against that. So you either have to show that you've had fast, high horsepower cars in the past in order to get insurance for the car too. So I went from a Lexus RCF to a BMW to a faster BMW to this car, and I've used the same insurance for all that. So the insurance knew that I was a responsible driver with high horsepower cars. But there are many other insurance companies out there which would not be the same case. They would actually say, oh, well, you're going from a Honda Civic to a Lamborghini, so that puts you at a high risk because you haven't really proved or had enough history showing that you can maintain a 600 horsepower car. So a lot of insurances, they won't give you insurance if you've never owned a 600 horsepower car. It's something about the 600 horsepower mark. So if you do have a history of having fast cars and still maintaining a really good record, it's a lot easier to get insurance for a Lamborghini. But if you haven't had a fast car, like a high horsepower car, and then you're trying to get into your first supercar, your first fast car, and that has to be a $300,000 car like this, you're going to be really pushing your luck for that. So that's one thing to really watch out for. Many insurance companies also ask questions about if you're financing the car and if you're leasing the car, or if the car is paid for. So if you're financing the car and leasing the car, that makes it more difficult to get insurance for a Lamborghini, because according to statistics, people who have leased their cars and financed their cars are actually more prone to getting into car accidents. But for people who have actually paid off their car, it's easier for them to get insurance because they have shown that they're more responsible, not in terms of just finances, but in terms of actually driving the car as well. So that I would say is a big thing to note. Also, depending on your age, I did have one insurance company that I reached out to about getting exotic car insurance for. This guy, they had asked me about my age, and because I'm not 40, I did not qualify for insurance because of my age. So age also plays a big role in trying to get insurance for this. I would say if you're younger than 30 trying to get insurance, I'd actually call your insurance source before you even try to go look at a car, because I will guarantee you that the younger you are and then the more expensive the supercar is that you're trying to get insurance for, your payment for that is going to go way up there. But if you're around my age, 35, you're going to be more on the luckier side. If you're 40 and older, you're definitely good. Also, keep in mind, this goes for anybody who just has car insurance in general. You always want to be shopping around every 6 months or so. Every 6 months, I do call all my cable companies and insurances to try to negotiate a lower rate. That is just one thing that wealthy people do, is they kind of always shop around, keep their options open to see who gives the best deal. But even if you don't have a supercar, you always want to be calling your insurance companies every 6 months or so to see if you can qualify for a lower rate. You want to see if insurance companies can price match, even in terms of refinancing and whatnot. Again, I'm not a financial advisor of any sort, but I typically try to refinance cars and things every 6 months or so, just to make sure I'm continuously getting the best rate for everything. So the same applies for car insurance as well. You always want to just kind of call around to see if you can get a better rate. So keep that in mind as well. If you do finally get insurance for your exotic car, your Lamborghini, best bet that you are walking on thin water. Any speeding ticket you get or any minor hit that you get, even if it's not your fault, obviously if it's not your fault, you're not going to get a major hike. But even if you do get hit, say for example, you come off as somebody who's prone to getting hit, your insurance will slightly still go up depending on which insurance you're dealing with. So that's one thing to really watch out for, obeying the laws and everything, because if you make one wrong mistake, you can best bet that your insurance cost is going to go hiking up a whole lot more compared to any other car. I've been lucky and blessed so far in that sense, so I'm going to continue to just kind of drive the car in a calm manner. That's just me. Obviously, you don't have to do that, but you are walking on water whenever you're concerned about Lamborghini car insurance and then you're trying to push the limit in ways that you should not be. So one wrong move there, and then your insurance costs could go up significantly. So you do have to kind of watch out for that. So let me know if you guys all had any questions about the car insurance for a Lamborghini. Again, it's not really anything crazy as long as you maintain a good record. I would say that those two things play the most significant role. Also, depending on where you're parking the car as well. If you have a garage, you're going to be one of the lucky ones. So let me know what you guys thought about this video. If you all have any questions, write it down below, and I'll see you all for the next one.